Alright everyone, time for the final episode review of the day, which is The Bitch is Back. Logan regretfully informs Veronica that there is a sex video circulating of her and Piz, handing her a burned DVD. She berates him and denies the recording is authentic. After viewing the video, she goes to find Piz, who is badly bruised and bleeding, to confirm he was not involved in recording the footage, which he was not. Learning Logan attacked Piz due to mistakenly believing Piz made and released the video, Parker confronts Logan in his hotel room, tearfully breaking up with him because his actions show he still loves Veronica. Veronica arrives as Parker is leaving and berates him for attacking Piz. She then confronts Dick about the origins of the sex tape, reveals that he got it from Chip Diller. Veronica intimidates Chip and gets Dominic DeSante's name, but Dominic steadfastly refuses to tell her anything. Veronica warns Dominic that he'll regret his refusal, and follows through by canceling Dominic's credit cards and enlisting Weevil's help to remove Dominic's tires from his car. This leads him to name Gloria Sorokin, whom Veronica later wiretaps, looking for answers. The wiretap leads her to a secret contact method, where she sets up surveillance and is shocked to catch Wallace as one of the participants. Veronica talks to Wallace and realizes he's connected to the secret society, the Castle, for which he's being recruited. Wallace tells Veronica that he's out, but she asks him to continue in order to aid her in figuring out what's going on. Wallace discovers the equipment used to tape him is his initial initiation, and his initial initiation was similar to that which was used to film Veronica and Piz. The members make Wallace go into a room with a chair and a camera, strip him down to his underwear, put on a shock collar, and proceed to ask him very personal questions. He hears random yelling, and is told that other crews will be shocked if he answers untruthfully. He's shocked once he tells the truth, and upon complaint, he is informed that someone else lied and he received the punishment. When they find Veronica's spy pen in Wallace's discarded clothes, they forcibly remove him, but he's able to figure out the identity of one of the other recruits. Veronica sneaks into the house of the recruit Wallace names, which is revealed to be the Kane residence, first by a large portrait of Lily Kane, and then by another of Duncan Kane. Approaching voices forces Veronica into hiding behind a curtain, where she observes two men, one of whom is Jake Kane, discussing the castle. After they leave, Veronica steals Jake's hard drive. Keith, as interim sheriff, investigates the robbery the following day, spotting Veronica on a surveillance camera belonging to Kane's neighbor. However, he doesn't initially report his daughter. Veronica brings the hard drive to Mac for help, and Mac leads her to a campus supercomputer to crack Jake Kane's very secure password. The supercomputer finally cracks the password, and they discover documents, audios, and videos, some dating back to the 1930s, incriminating the castle members for various ill deeds and illegal activity, taking the time of each individual's initiation, similar to what they tried to do to Wallace. When Veronica arrives home, she finds her room tossed and realizes it was Keith, who questions Veronica about whether or not she broke into the Kane house, despite already surmising her guilt from the evidence. Jake and a county prosecutor arrive at Keith's office the next day, indicating they will get a judge's order and return to prosecute Veronica. Keith hands over the surveillance evidence to the county prosecutor after he first visited the evidence room, removed a large magnet from a big speaker, and using it to erase it to hide Veronica's involvement. This leads to charges filed against Keith for tampering with evidence, likely meaning that he will lose the votes needed to win the sheriff's election, as it was printed in the newspaper. Logan tries to apologize to Veronica, but is rebuffed. Moments later, Gloria brags to Veronica that the organization videotaped her, and Logan assaults him, despite Veronica's warning that Gloria is connected. Veronica later returns the hard drive to Jake Kane on the condition that he does not tell Keith about it. She goes into a voting booth and votes for Keith as sheriff, and then walks away in the pouring rain, leaving many open-ended questions. So now let's take a look at the production of this episode, beginning with writing, filming, and promotion. The Bitch is Back was co-written by series creator Rob Thomas and executive producer Diane Ruggiero and directed by Michael Fields. This episode marked Thomas's 9th writing credit, Ruggiero's 17th installment of the series, and Fields' 8th episode. The scene in which Veronica rebukes Logan was included because the writers thought that it would be a good note on which to end a season, even though it would not be the two characters' final interaction in the series. Fields was heavily involved with the actors during the filming of this scene. Thomas highlighted a scene in which Logan attacks the castle member for showcasing the romantic ambiguity between Logan, Veronica, and Piz. Thomas counseled Lowell about his facial expression before filming, and he was pleased with the end result, saying that, quote, "It breaks my heart." While editing the final script, Thomas Ruggiero had to remove roughly 7 minutes from the original draft, including a scene featuring dialogue between Veronica and Leo. Later, Thomas thought that removing this scene made one voiceover by Veronica too sudden. Thomas called the scene in which Keith makes Veronica dinner quintessential Keith. It's indicative of his lasting commitment to his daughter. Despite knowing the episode could be the series finale, Thomas did not want it to completely resolve all plot lines. His intention was to keep viewers guessing and prevent the conclusion from being too bland or typical. He ultimately felt that the final shot of Veronica walking away from the voting booth in the rain was a, quote, pretty melancholy way to go out. The song It Never Rains in Southern California by Albert Hammond plays during the final scene. The promotional advertising for the episode, the CW billed it as a season finale, despite the fact that the series had already been canceled. Ugh. So now let's take a look at the FBI pitch. Before cancellation, Thomas proposed his idea for Season 4 to take place in the FBI Academy. Prior to the airing of Un-American Graffiti, Enrico Colantoni stated that the CW had seen the filmed first 10 pages and reacted negatively. However, Thomas denied this assertion and commented that the CW had not yet seen the FBI pitch. It had to be presented on May 2nd, the day after the series came off a 2-month hiatus. Thomas's statement was confirmed by a representative for the network. Thomas filmed a 12-minute teaser for his new concept and presented it to the CW. This teaser was later released on the Veronica Mars 3rd season DVD and the internet. The clip begins in medias res with Veronica, pretending to be a high schooler, talking to a teacher. The teaser flashes back to her first FBI meeting, and the viewers discover that she is investigating the teacher for sexual abuse allegations. She successfully catches the teacher on camera, and at the FBI, she runs into a former acquaintance named Seth. She investigates a potential bomber with another novice agent, and they speak to a man who appears to be innocent. However, he points a gun at Veronica's partner as the clip ends. Thomas initially planned for Veronica to be in the FBI during a hypothetical 7th or 8th season of Veronica Mars. He accelerated his initial vision of the show in an attempt to prevent its cancellation. Although he believed that the new concept would appeal to CW executives, he commented, quote, "I'd be thrilled for Veronica to come back in any incarnation." The teaser was presented to the network on May 2nd, 2007. Nelly Andreeva of The Hollywood Reporter wrote that Dan Ostroff, president of CW at the time, responded positively to the new concept. The series title might have changed if the idea had been accepted. The CW had recently canceled Gilmore Girls, leading some news outlets to speculate that Veronica Mars might be renewed in order to fill a schedule hole. Several cast members, including Gonzalo and Lowell, had taken other acting opportunities in anticipation of the series' cancellation. Nevertheless, Thomas stated, quote, "I don't think we're dead. I kind of like our chances." And now let's take a look at the cancellation of the show. Veronica Mars was one of roughly 5 series being considered for cancellation by the network in 2007. At the CW's Upfront conference, critic Michael Ausiello asked Ostroff about the fate of the show. She responded that Thomas and Bell could work together on another show for the network, but she thought that this possibility was unlikely. She said that, quote, "It could come back in any form, but I don't know what form that would be." Thomas responded, quote, "I assume that anything Dawn will be talking about in the realm of a Rob Kristen project would involve a new from scratch pilot, as they don't have me in a deal. They'll lose Kristen in a couple of weeks." The concept, Ostroff officially canceled the series, saying about the FBI idea that it's not going to happen. Upon the cancellation of the series, a group of fans who call themselves the Cloud Watchers sent more than 10,000 Mars bars to the CW, hoping that the network would reverse its decision and renew the series. Still for years after the cancellation, Thomas expressed interest in creating a feature film based on the show. And now finally, let's take a look at the analysis of the episode. Several reviewers have commented on the themes of the episode. Topics of discussion include the relationship between parents and children, class relations, the scene in which Logan attacks the perpetrator in Veronica's sex tape case, and the final scene in relation to the overall morale of the series. According to Roman Kaiser of the AV Club, the episode contained a role reversal between Veronica and Keith, with Keith violating the law. He noted the scene in which Keith erases the surveillance tapes of Veronica as illustrating the theme that the two aren't so different after all. Roger Holland of Pop Matters thought that the episode demonstrated that Veronica and Keith's relationship was the central component of the show. Quote, "It was all about Veronica and Keith. And beyond that, about parents, children, and the myriad ways they can F each other up." Stephanie Zacherek, writing for Salon, thought that the final scenes of The Bitch Is Back cement the double reality posited at the very beginning of the series that the rich are always going to be the ones in charge. Holland referring to Veronica's line, "I don't want his apology," in the scene in which Logan assaults Goraz Sorokin as indicative of one of the main themes of the series. Quote, "She's not interested in apologies. She's driven by an honest need for action and payback." Eric Goldman of IGN wrote that the scene had an air of ambiguity that could be interpreted in many ways. The reviewer elaborated that Veronica's smile could have further indicated romantic interest, or that Logan might have been killed in retaliation for attacking Goria. Zacherek stated that the episode's ending felt truncated, unfinished. It gave us no clear signposts telling us where exactly these characters are headed next, where they'll end up. Holland said that the theme of the final scene seemed empathetically clear and killingly accurate. Life's a bitch until you die. Goldman wrote that the ending was fitting for the series. Quote, "Veronica Mars was exactly a show that was driven by happy thoughts or events, even though we wouldn't have minded the characters ending up happy. So, yeah. So overall, I think it's the final episode of Season 3. This episode is just kind of meh. I mean, there's not really any conclusions to it, so yeah. So overall, I give The Bitch Is Back 4 marshmallows out of 5. Well, anyway, tune in next time as Mystery March 2022 concludes with the Veronica Mars movie. So, until then, remember everyone, the game's afoot.